I keep thinking that I actually posted things like this announcement that was supposed to include a quick video about the collaborative paper starter items. And I apologize for not doing that. The good news is, as far as I can tell, I did update the gradebook, so the first number in your points total should tell you what your current grade is. I also updated my phone number up here in case you want to text me if you would like to talk to me at some time over break. Now I'm scrolling down quickly because I wanted to show you the modification I made to the paper assignments so that you can do them a little bit more efficiently. The first module down here says historical context in close reading. And inside that module, we used the videos in the historical context discussion to put together some samples of what a paper might look like that discusses historical context. I don't know how this happened with the spacing, but bear with me. So I included here the quote from Pap about his feelings toward the African American man that he met and his Pap's subsequent refusal to vote. And also this quote from Buffalo Soldiers. My goodness. Apologies again. I don't know why the formatting looks like this, in which we see that African American men used the military as one way to assert their citizenship rights. Okay, I'm going to stop doing this because it's a Google Doc and you can feel free to fix it if you want to use it. So here we have just some sample explanations about how you might write about that topic, and they're from work that we did in class. You can also add to that a little bit more if you would like to write more in historical context about any of the issues in one of the novels that you choose. And this should be accessible to everybody. The other essay starter has our similarly goofed up looking quote from the Buffalo Soldiers. Again, if you look at the discussion on historical context, this will be helpful. This example is from Mini Sacrifice, and it starts with an introductory paragraph and a more specific argument about how the historical context affects the novel Mini Sacrifice. What I've put in the beginning here for all these examples, by the way, is called an epigraph, which just sets the tone for the text that you might want to analyze if you're writing a paper. So you can use any of these OneDrive samples and just add more evidence, explain the concepts more, add your own ideas to them, and submit those as your close reading or historical context. The close reading example comes from some background information about Daniel Decatur Emmett, who appears in the beginning. So this is just the background information and a list of terms you might use to describe the way that Everett talks about the language that James uses around white people versus the language that James teaches his children to use versus James' actual form of speaking. All of these vocabulary kind of terms here are the official close reading words about the language. And there's also a Google Doc excerpt of James here where you can find the language lesson that takes place at the beginning of chapter 2. I'm going to have to scroll. These are the songs that are minstrel songs, and further down we have the excerpt from James, where he's teaching the children how to speak in a way that white people will expect, which, in terms of historical context, also mirrors the minstrel dialect that Daniel James Emmett, that the person who wrote the songs in the notebook at the beginning of James uses. So again, you can use this too as a starter if you want. I don't have the same kind of Google Doc starter for this example for close reading, but I think between the class recordings and the different resources you can look at, you should be able to do the close reading. This example is just another historical context, which is a very interesting letter that Twain wrote about the Jubilee Singers, with a couple of other links to the Jubilee Singers. So I hope you're having a great Thanksgiving. Let me know how I can help you finish up.